frustrated that the system is the way it is, that they don't feel comfortable that they have to raise $10,000 a day to keep pace to win a Senate seat. This is why they work short weeks, because they have to run home and raise money. But they all feel, and I sense this, that the problem's bigger than they are. And until they get the votes and until they have a chance to make some significant changes, this is the fishbowl that they're swimming in. They don't like having the pressure of going out to raise the money. But this is the way the neocon agenda has taken it to a new level in this country, and I do believe that if there was an opportunity for them to change it, that they would seriously address it.
Yeah. You know, I want to jump in and say one more thing on this. The Democrats also need a strong leader. Now, as much as we all dislike Dick Cheney for all of the terrible things he's done, you know, starting a war, getting hundreds of thousands of people killed, breaking the laws, et cetera, but the man is strong, and he's got an agenda, okay? And I don't know if, how many of you read that Washington Post series, four-part series on him. Yeah. And the man, he knows how to push that agenda, and he pushes it, and he pushes it, and he pushes it until it gets done, one way or another.
And he does it with a 21% approval rating.
Yeah. I mean, his favorability right now is 13%. Probably the most unpopular politician in the history of America, and he's still getting things done. Now, if the Democrats had someone that strong...
And that's with all the time he spends killing puppies and pushing old ladies down the stairs.
Right,
so,
and shooting people in the face. Right. And if Democrats had someone that strong who did the right things, because we need it, it's essential.
Let me flip it around. I disagree with you, respectfully, and that is that the Republican Party is wed to this notion of hierarchy and patriarchy and everything else, and so it makes sense that within the Republican Party there would be a power shift from the top down. The Democratic Party is like, you know, herding cats. I mean, Will Rogers was right, and that's the weakness of the Democratic Party. That's also the strength of the Democratic Party, and therefore I think that it needs to be us. We need to push these guys so hard and so far and so loud that they can't do anything except that.
But, Tom, wouldn't it be nice to have a leader that actually agreed with us?
Well, you know, Tom...
Well, there's some of them out there. I mean,
Tom,
there's some good
guys
guys out
there. If I can add something to that also. Cheney, I understand what Cenk is saying, and from a strictly power standpoint, you're absolutely right. But if there were a Democrat that used the same tactics to exert his power that Cheney uses, in other words, fear, loathing, intimidation, threats, maybe I'll kill you, whatever, you know, whatever they use.
Coming after your wife, I mean, Joe Wilson.
A Democrat leader who tried to do that, Democratic Party leader who tried to do that would be tossed out on the street, would be kicked to the curb.
Well, look at what happened with LBJ.
Who?
No, I mean, seriously, LBJ's party went to him and said, you're not going to run.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Well, I know, but I mean, you guys raise a good point that, you know, Jim Ward, my voice dean, and I were at an anti-war rally in L.A., and since we're the party of tolerance, I think we tolerate entirely too many people in our party. Because, you know, the war is not just an issue, it's the issue to me. But we were just cracking up because I was speaking at the rally and there's, I don't know, hemp people there and Save the Turtles, and we're like, focus, people! Let's focus on getting out of Iraq. Let's, okay, with your cause. What are you people doing here?
Yeah, good one. Okay. Chris in Snohomish is asking, who are the strongest candidates and who are the weakest candidates among the Democratic field, and should that be a concern? And I think the subtext of that is, you know, should we be placing ideology over, quote, electability, or is the whole concept of electability nonsense?
Where's that sign over there? Where's that yellow sign? There we go.
There you go. Gore 08.
Yeah!
Well, and in fact, that ties into another question from Christine Goff in Snohomish, who says, does Al Gore's cancellation of his speaking engagements mean that he'll run? And if so, will he choose John Edwards as his running mate and make my dreams come true? So, you know, Mike, you're nodding fast here on this one.
Say what?
Well, you were going. You look like you want to say something.
First of all, when a politician stops talking, something's up.
That's right. Something's wrong. That's an excellent question. I don't find anyone who is in a leadership status. I mean, the horse race, the debate cycle that we're in right now. Anybody in the Democratic Party that I would feel comfortable voting for, with the exception of Dennis Kucinich, and he has as much chance of being president as I do. In other words, zero. The so-called leaders.
Why?
Who? Kucinich?
Yeah, why zero?
Well, mainly one word: media. He is not going to get the focus and the attention, and he never has. He didn't in 04, and he's not going to get it in 08. I don't know why that is. Maybe because he's short. I have no idea. But his wife's tall, if that counts for anything. So I have no idea. But I agree with the woman that has a sign. The really qualified candidate is the one who won in 2000.
Yeah.
And that's Al Gore. I mean, whether you like him or not, a lot of people, I was having this discussion with somebody today who said, how can you support him? He had Lieberman as his running mate. He didn't pick Lieberman. That was a choice made by the DLC. Mm-hmm. Al Gore did not sit down and say, let's see, who can I pick who will really screw me up? Oh, I know, Joe Lieberman. That didn't happen that way. So,
I think a lot of people didn't see Lieberman coming.
No, I don't think they did.
He'd been in camouflage for a long time.
And even though the argument that Al Gore is DLC and real Democrats don't like the DLC, I think he's had his conversion on the road to Damascus, and I think he understands now that the Democratic Party has a base and a core too, and the DLC does not play to it.
Yeah.
Plus, the good thing, here's a really good thing. Since he did win in 2000, we could pretend like it's Bobby getting out of the shower in Dallas, and the last 8 years never happened.
There you go. Ed Schultz, your thoughts on this? Who are the candidates that are...
Well, I would have no problem with any of the Democratic candidates right now. It's not a perfect world. This guy's lowered the bar. It's a good time to run. It's a good time to be a Democrat and run. I know that there's people out there that don't like Hillary. There's people that I know there's people that think that maybe a black guy can't win, or a woman can't win, or John Edwards couldn't win North Carolina on the Kerry ticket, so how could he pull a southern state? You can be negative on any one of the candidates. But I will tell you this, as Stephanie was saying about focus, when it comes to social justice, when it comes to equal rights and women's rights and workers' rights and unions in this country, when it comes to civil rights, I'll take any one of the Democratic candidates against this outfit. Now, there's no perfect immigration bill. There's no perfect defense bill. There's no perfect bill anywhere. There's not going to be a perfect candidate. We're going to have to, in the progressive movement, appeal to those in the center because they will decide the election. You're going to have about 15% of the people over here, 15% of the people over here, and the big thing now in politics, I'm an independent. I don't sign up with any party. The fact is, someone in the Democratic Party is going to have to be electable, and they're going to have the machine behind them to get it done. Now, if that's Kucinich, that's fine with me. I had him on the program the other day. He's talking about impeachment. I'm all about that. My frustration right now is this, is that Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid will not put impeachment back on the table because they're afraid of 08. I believe that as a representative government, we got to do what the people want. And I think that there's groundswell effort in this country to keep talking about impeachment because we all have to realize a lot of damage can be done to this country in the next 18 months.
Well, let me... obviously...
I was going to say,
never too late.
no, I totally agree with that. You guys have probably heard me talk about my dad was a prosecutor at the Nuremberg trials, but the world is going to hold us accountable someday for this war, and for if